It's hard to fathom that as a legitimate commentator, I have to say the PP tapes are back in the news again. Yes, Donald Trump's infamous alleged golden shower videos, whether he did or did not in 2013 when he attended the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow, watched two sex workers urinate on themselves. Yeah, it's back because the Department of Justice, controlled by Donald Trump, has made it an issue again because apparently to try to settle some sort of defamation case brought by a Georgian American business person who didn't like the fact that he was identified as a Russian business person in the Mueller report back in 2019. They've had to go into the Mueller report about the PP tapes. Oh, yeah, and make an edit. But it's not what you think. It's not to edit out the allegation that Donald Trump watched this perverse act. It is to change the nationality of the business person who had the text message exchange and conversations with Michael Cohen. Remember him? Who can forget? The former and apparently current fixer for Donald Trump, who at the time was in coordination and communication with this Georgian American businessman. And as a result, what happened? According to the Georgian Kazaki businessman in the footnote to the Mueller report, he made sure the tapes disappeared. Whether the tapes existed, whether they were what we refer to in the business as kompromat, compromising material held by the Russians, that's for another day. But the fact that this Department of Justice that is run and owned and controlled and bought and paid for by Donald Trump thought it was good timing to revise one paragraph of 448 pages about Russia collusion or allegations of Russia collusion and Donald Trump's campaign. And the only thing they change, the only thing they want the American people to get right is not whether the PP tapes exist, but whether the guy that said that he made the PP tapes disappear is from one country or another. I'm not making this up, folks. You're on MeidasTouch. I'm Michael Popok. I don't make things up. I just report them the way I see them. All right. Take a minute, by the way. Go over and hit the free subscribe button on Legal AF YouTube. What a great weekend of content that we had. Back in 2019, the late Robert Mueller, who was then the special counsel appointed by Donald Trump's own Attorney General Robert Barr, Bill Barr, created, after years of investigation, a 448-page report about whether Donald Trump colluded with the Russians. There was a lot of other things in there, and people got prosecuted under it, but one of the main ones was whether there was active, direct collusion, conspiracy, coordination between Trump, the Trump campaign, and the Russians to get Trump elected. That's another issue as to whether there's a whole other issue as to whether Donald Trump benefited, whether he coordinated with it or not, from Russia interference, like Russia, North Korea, Iran, China, trying to get Donald Trump elected by compromising Facebook, TikTok, other social media, to try to create false campaigns using early rudimentary AI to get, and otherwise, to get Trump elected. That's another story. The intelligence community, including up to the Senate, believes that that happened, that there has been active interference in our elections. This was about whether Trump actively participated in the act of interference. So 448 pages come out. Now, this is the part that, this is the footnote that I'm talking about in this particular hot take. It is, for those that are playing the Protect Democracy home game, it is footnote 112 in section 2B, Roman numeral 2B of volume 2 of the Mueller report. And here's what it originally said. And then I'm going to tell you the change that was made. Again, this is about allegations through the Steele dossier, which may or may not have been discredited, Michael Steele dossier, in which they allege that the Russians had tapes, videotapes of Donald Trump doing perverted things, and they were using it to compromise him, to extort him, which is not a great place to be if you're the president of the United States. Here's the footnote, just so we know what we're talking about here. Here's what it says. talking about James Comey, the then FBI director. Comey's briefing included the Steele reporting's unverified allegation that the Russians had compromising tapes of the president involving conduct when he was a private citizen during a 2013 trip to Moscow for the Miss Universe pageant. We know Trump was there. He owned the Miss Universe pageant. There's plenty of photos of them. We'll put them up. During the 2016 presidential campaign, a similar claim may have reached candidate Trump. On October 30th, 2016, Michael Cohen received a text from Russian businessman Georgy Richahaldzi that said, quote, "Stopped flow of tapes from Russia, but not sure if there's anything else, just so you know." Richahaldzi said tapes in his interview with Robert Mueller's people referred to compromising tapes of Trump rumored to be held by persons associated with the Russian real estate conglomerate Crocus Group, which had helped host the 2013 Miss Universe pageant in Russia. Cohen said he spoke to Trump about the issue after receiving the text from Richahaldzi. Richahaldzi said he was told the tapes were fake, but he did not communicate that to Cohen. In fact, Michael Cohen was asked about the tapes when Jamie Raskin, then on the House Oversight Committee, asked him a series of questions about whether he knew about the compromise. Now, interestingly enough, Michael Cohen's position has been, they don't exist because I looked for them and I didn't find them. Think about that for a minute. Not they don't exist because I know Donald Trump and I know he didn't participate in watching sex workers urinate on themselves. Oh, no. It's they don't exist because I looked. Well, why are you looking if you don't think they exist? Like if somebody said, "Hey, Popok, there's tapes out there of you watching sex workers urinate," I would be able to definitively say those do not exist because I never participated in that event. Okay? Not, well, I don't think they exist because I looked for them and they're not there. It's crazy. The things they say out loud that they think help Trump, but they don't. Here's Michael Cohen in response to Representative Raskin. Play the clip.
David Pecker was very angry because there was also other monies that David had expended on his behalf. Unfortunately, David never got paid back for that either.
So David Pecker had done this in other cases of other mistresses or women?
Other circumstances, yes.
Okay.
Not all of them had to do with women.
Are you aware of anything that the president has done at home or abroad that may have subjected him to or may subject him to extortion or blackmail?
I am not, no.
Okay. Are you aware of any videotapes that may be the subject of extortion or blackmail?
I've heard about these tapes for a long time. I've had many people contact me over the years. I have no reason to believe that tape.
Look, magnesium, it's something most of us lack. And if you're taking that drugstore variant, you're still not getting the full picture. Industrial farming, chronic stress, and everyday aging all make it worse. Most supplements only use one form of magnesium, but magnesium comes in many forms that support your body in different ways. That's why you need to try Qualia Magnesium Plus. It combines 10 bioavailable forms of magnesium with more than 70 trace minerals for comprehensive full-spectrum support. Sleep deeper, think sharper, recover faster, support muscle strength, a steadier mood, and balanced energy metabolism. It's not just a sleep supplement. Oh no, it's a full-body magnesium system built for modern living so you can feel your best every day. Since adding Qualia Magnesium Plus to my routine, I'm feeling easier recovery from workouts and a calm, more centered wind down at night. It's been a supportive addition to my daily wellness routine. Experience the most trusted magnesium for purity, potency, and performance. Plus, it's non-GMO, vegan, and gluten-free, making it a choice you can feel good about. Go to qualialife.com/legalaf for 50% off. And here's a bonus. Use the code LEGALAF for an additional 15% off your order. That's QUALIA life.com/legalaf and then use code LEGALAF. Thanks to Qualia for sponsoring this episode. Okay. Now, James Comey, the former FBI director, who's also cited in this footnote we just talked about in the 448 pages of the Mueller report, he has said the following about how many times the only thing that Donald Trump was really interested in when he met with him about the Steele dossier was the sex acts that were listed there and trying to get to the bottom of them. That seemed to be the only thing on Trump's mind. Play the clip.
Comey then asked to meet alone with Trump to warn him about that now infamous Steele dossier, unverified information on Trump's ties to Russia, including allegations of Trump's encounters with prostitutes in Moscow.
I'm about to meet with a person who doesn't know me. He's just been elected president of the United States by all accounts, and from my watching him during the campaign, could be volatile. And I'm about to talk to him about allegations that he was involved with prostitutes in Moscow and that the Russians taped it and have leverage over him.
Was there any choice there? Why, if this was salacious and this particular part of the dossier unverified, still unverified, by the way?
Yes. So far as when I got fired, it was unverified.
Did you tell him that the Steele dossier had been financed by his political opponents?
No, I didn't even think I used the term Steele dossier. I just talked about additional material.
But did he have a right to know that?
That had been financed by his political opponents? I don't know the answer to that. It wasn't necessary for my goal, which was to alert him that we had this information.
How graphic did you get?
I think as graphic as I needed to be. I started to tell him about the allegation was that he had been involved with prostitutes in a hotel in Moscow in 2013 during a visit for the Miss Universe pageant, and that the Russians had filmed the episode. And he interrupted very defensively and started talking about it. You know, do I look like a guy who needs hookers? And I assumed he was asking that rhetorically. I didn't answer that, and I just moved on and explained, sir, I'm not saying that we credit this, I'm not saying we believe it. We just thought it very important that you know.
Did you tell him you thought it wasn't true, or you didn't know if it was true or not?
I never said I don't believe it, because I couldn't say one way or another.
Okay, so Rizal Haldy's pissed off because he doesn't like to be identified as a Russian businessman. He wants to be identified as a Georgian American businessman, and he sued for defamation against the Department of Justice for listing him with the wrong nationality. So apparently, to solve that lawsuit, they went in, this current Department of Justice, run by Donald Trump, went in to the volume 2, found the footnote, and just edited out. The only thing they edited, not the reference to the compromising compromat, the tapes, which we know were the PP tapes, or what's also referred to as the golden shower tapes. No, not that. Just where the guy came from, his nationality. I mean, in a perverse way, it reminded me of that famous movie When Harry Met Sally, and she's trying to share with Harry about the sex dreams that she has. And he says, what's the sex dream? He says, oh, well, I'm chased through the woods and a man, puts me up against a tree and tries to tear off my clothing. And then I wake up, and Harry says, it's the same dream every time. She says, well, I change it a little bit. And he says, in what way? What I'm wearing. Right. So the only thing they want to change is the nationality of the person who communicated with Michael Cohen about the PP tapes, just to resurface the whole issue for America again. It's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me that these people can get up in the morning and dress themselves, let alone that they can run a government. I'm Michael Popok. You're on the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. Continue to follow all that we do. Hit the free subscribe button. Until my next report, I'm Michael Popok. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.